Quick review. Should you see Frozen 2 in 3D? This is a 100% computer-generated movie that is the sequel to the original that was released in 2013. This is a very entertaining movie that highlights the themes of the four elements, earth, wind, fire, and water, and displays them being interacted with both naturally and supernaturally. Environments of the settings were displayed well. They contained a lot of noticeable visual elements. Certain characters interact and manipulate their surroundings as well as being affected and reacting to changes in their environments. From physical contact between characters, magic being expelled, to wind blowing leaves, there is some sort of interaction that keeps your attention throughout the movie. The 3D was optimized well. The depth perception was optimized more on the natural side. It was a little bit exaggerated. There are a lot of small mobile visual elements from leaves being blown by the wind to falling snowflakes. The optimization visually enhances the manipulation of the environment in many scenes effectively. There are many visual elements that fill up the screen and/or empty out of it to give a good sense of depth and volume. The density of large static elements is demonstrated well, especially when some are affected in a way that causes smaller parts of a singular unit to instantly move individually, such as cut stones in a road or debris from a damaged bridge. Visual elements were placed very well on the three-dimensional stage. Large elements were placed in the back. The main characters were within the center area of the stage. Higher quantities of smaller sized elements can be seen within the background of the stage, while lower quantities of smaller elements appear further in front of the main characters. Nothing was really placed near the very front of the three-dimensional stage. Even falling snowflakes were not placed in the very front, so their presence was not annoying nor in your face. Plus, their screen time was short. However, scenes were edited in a way to give you time to appreciate the 3D effects, especially when characters interact with their surroundings, from the center to further back of the three-dimensional stage. There was an instance when a lens flare flashed on the screen for a brief moment, but its presence did not take me out of the moment nor give me the impression that I was looking at a scene through a glass barrier. Frozen 2 is an immersive experience. There was a good amount of immersive moments, from falling snowflakes, wind-blown leaves, massive water waves, to plants catching on fire. There was a satisfying amount of engagement. Some smaller visual elements I mentioned before would come toward the audience, as well as rocks and debris for brief moments. All moments of engagement happen appropriately due to certain actions that occur in the plot. There were some chase scenes. Although some characters moved sideways through a scene, there were some moments when they would turn and run away toward the center with the camera view following them. As characters would move, for example through a forest, branches would come toward the audience. There were some moments that caused me to move in my seat. There was no engaging moment that seemed unnecessary. Although there were many kinds of visual elements, their actions and presence were not annoying, their placement was not overbearing, nor their high volumes and screen time were overwhelming. This was a comfortable movie to view in 3D. I experienced no eye strain. I did experience some fatigue. I was yawning at some points in the movie, mainly when there was less action. This could be due to the fact that this is a 100% CGI animated movie with many small mobile visual elements. It could also be my eyes were adjusting to the 3D optimization. Eventually, the fatigue stopped. There was a scene where the camera view spun around a character, but I felt no disorientation. There were some scenes where the camera view shook, but I experienced no motion sickness. The view shook every time a very large character stepped, so the shaking was not constant. There was no strobing at all. Frozen 2 is a very satisfying 3D experience. It is worth the money, especially if you are taking your kids to see it on the big screen. The target audience is primarily young girls. However, there is physical and magical action that will keep boys entertained, and adults will find the story to be decent. I was very pleased with the 3D application. It has good immersion and a justifiable amount of engagement. The optimization accentuated the characters' interactions with each other and their surroundings, especially when magic powers were used. It was a mostly comfortable viewing experience. Frozen 2 should be seen in 3D.